2, 1. Okay. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about overcoming objections. Close that here. Where's my Zoom feed? There we go. Okay, and there, now I can see me. All right. So yeah, today I wanted to talk about overcoming objections. We've been talking a lot about direct marketing for ourselves. I may not chime in all the time, but I do read some of the messages that are going on in the group's chat pages, and I see a lot of people struggling with signing services and trying to get approved for any signing opportunities that they got. And I just want to give you guys a little bit of tough love for a second, okay? You need to understand that signing services are not here for you guys. You are a tool for signing services. If you guys really want to get real work and opportunity, it's not just going to be handed to you on the regular. You're going to have to go out there and earn it yourselves and work for that. And that's where you're going to make the real big money. If you're looking to just do this as a side hustle or as a part-time source of income, you're going to have to accept that people aren't going to be able to hire you part-time or only want to partly give you work on occasion. And if you put enough pokers in the fire, you're going to get one every now and then. But if you're in this business to truly build something for yourself, like I was when I first started this, then you're going to have to go out there and find it yourselves. And so that's why I wanted to talk today about overcoming objections, because you guys are going to have to start doing some direct marketing, going out into the field, looking up a list of all the title companies within a 15-mile radius, 20-mile radius of your locale. Depending on how good of a signing agent you are, you may want to consider marketing yourself a little bit further away from your home base until you get really good at doing loan signings and you're not burning bridges. That way, the relationships that you build with these title and escrow companies, lenders, realtors, they're not going to affect you geographically within your own local area, because all these people do talk, and if you burn one of them because of a mistake, and we all make mistakes. It's not really the mistakes that are going to hurt you as much unless they're consistent. If you're consistently making mistakes, somebody's not going to want to continue to use you. So it's the attitude that accept your mistake and don't argue about it. Just ask, what can I do to remedy this? That attitude is going to allow you to continue to walk in that door until you just completely burn the bridge. And I'm only speaking for you notary signing agents that are still fairly new in the industry. Maybe you haven't done any signings yet, or you've only done a couple. That's a recommendation I'd have if you want to start going direct right away. The market has dried up significantly since the last year or two. So the opportunities aren't nearly as frequent as they were back then. So a lot of people that are getting into the business brand new, I feel your pain. I know what it's like. But I mean, I signed somebody yesterday with an 8% interest rate. At some point in time, once we get past this inflation bubble and everything corrects itself, rates will eventually come down again. And all these people that are buying homes right now at 8%, 7.5%, 6%, there's going to be another huge refinance boom. And we're going to, those of you that are already got your name in the game and have made direct relationships with lenders, escrow officers, realtors, you're going to be the ones getting all those opportunities. So if you're just sitting on the sidelines waiting for people to hand you signings, you'll definitely pick up then, but you're not going to get it as good as the people that are out there direct marketing. So I want to do a little check-in, and I hope some of you can speak up for us. Here, I just want to hear, I always hear about everyone griping and crying about how they're not getting signing opportunities, but I'd like to know personally if these meetings are doing any good for anybody anyway, somehow. Not that I'm going to stop doing them. It'd be nice to hear about maybe some information that you've gotten from these meetings that are helping you with your direct marketing campaign, or even with just being able to work with the signing services better. So does anybody have a positive story that they're able to share? It doesn't even have to be about what you're receiving from this meeting, but maybe just some success from your own personal direct marketing campaign. Anybody having something that they could share with us? Don't be shy. I'm not going to talk until I hear one positive thing from one person. Come on. We got to have something here. Otherwise, I'll just sit back and enjoy my Red Bull for a minute. I'm doing this for free, so I'm not getting paid to do this. I can do what I want. Jump in there. I hear somebody.
You're talking about, like, because I just joined, so I do apologize for the question.
No.
You're talking about like what we've done for direct marketing?
Yeah. What are you doing, Nancy, for yourself to create a direct opportunity for yourself? What are you doing?
Well, I did go to one of the 55 plus communities in my area. Actually, I went to two of them. One of them was outrageous what they wanted to advertise in our little newsletter, which was $400 a month. I laughed and
Holy moly.
them again. Yeah. But I found another one here local, and their reach is 5 times bigger than the first one I went to. So I'm in their newsletter that they send out once a month. And they also have that newsletter electronically for all their residents.
Awesome.
In there for the next 6 months, and they paid $150 to be in their classifieds, and I've already made my money back.
So that is huge right there, because we're talking about elderly senior citizen community, right? 55 plus.
Correct.
These people are getting old. They're getting to the point where they are either becoming physically unable to perform the duties they need to carry on their financial responsibilities for themselves. They're signing over durable power of attorney to their family. They are getting living trusts done. Living trusts are a huge source of income. They're just as good, if not better, than doing loan signings. And you don't have to know a single thing about the documents. It's literally general notary work. And if it's a husband and wife in California, it's usually about 16 signatures. I make $250. I don't charge for my travel. If there's gonna be seven or more signings, I say, like, you know what? I'll waive my travel fee. I'll just charge you $15 per notarization, because I'm knocking out 16 notarizations at $15 a pop in California. So that's easy money right there. And if you're the go-to for every single community or person in that community, and where I live, I'm literally surrounded by 2 huge 55 plus communities called Del Webb. And I think
those here also haven't hit them up.
Del Webb's a huge community all across the country. There's a bunch of them everywhere, especially from all the baby boomers that are building, and they don't want to listen to all the loud neighbors and all that. So they have these really strict HOAs and all that stuff. But that's awesome to be able to go in there and do that. I've never done that before. I actually had thought about it. I considered it because I live right in the middle of both of them.
And they're like 10 of their communities, 10 minutes from my house.
So who did you go to talk to get on that list?
Their advertising office.
Okay. So
I called like the regular office and went on there, said top of the world.
So you might have to do a little bit of legwork to figure out who the right person is to talk to. But if you can get in there, what'd you say you paid for that?
$150 for 6 months. I mean, I'm in the classifieds, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Because they read the entire thing from cover to cover to see what's going on.
They got nothing better to do, right?
Exactly.
So that's a huge win right there. That's a huge win. I'll tell you what, I made a mistake way back in the day. I invested like $1,500 to put my name and telephone number on a shopping cart. And like realtors do if you go to Safeway or whatever. And I'll tell you what, I didn't get a damn thing out of it. But
I did that with my mobile auto glass business, like the garbage cans outside of Winn-Dixie and stuff. What a waste of money that was.
Yeah. So you guys want to be very particular when what you're choosing or how you're choosing to do your marketing. But $150 investment for 6 months. I mean, I paid the same investment for 6 months, but I paid like $1,200 or $1,500 and I didn't get a darn thing out of it. But I will never do that again, but $150 investment, that ain't nothing for 6 months. And you're in front of a community that needs notary publics on the regular.
Yeah,
So nice one, Nancy. Thanks for sharing that. That's a win right there. That makes me happy.
me
So
too.
it does. And I feel like if we can start sharing each other's wins like that, instead of griping about everyone's losses and everything, it's those positive things that are going to start motivating us to want to start creating and building more direct opportunities for ourselves. Now, signature signings, we are a signing service, but I am not trying to get you guys to go through signature signings. For my signings opportunities are limited. I mean, we probably give away maybe, I mean, when the market was really good, we were giving away probably 500 signings a month. But now, because things are so slow and our clients don't need us as much, we're doing between 50 to 100 a month. So it's not like I have enough opportunity to give every single one of you. But I do want to show you how to create opportunity for yourself and then allow you to use the resources that Signature Signings has if you're not able to close a deal on some signings, because maybe you're not Fidelity approved because you have to have 2 years of experience and you have to have at least $100,000 of E&O, and some of you may not have that much coverage. Some companies require you have $1 million of E&O. So it's because of those things that I want to be able to offer our resources to you to create that direct business for yourself. And in return, obviously, we're going to compensate ourselves a little bit for being able to give you those resources. But ultimately, the goal is for you to be able to create so much opportunity for yourself that you can no longer do it. And then you refer those opportunities to the network of Signature Signings so that we can share those opportunities with everybody that's here in the group today and everybody else that's associated with Signature Signings that wasn't able to make it. And then you're compensated by us, by Signature Signings, for that referral opportunity. And we share that opportunity with the network. And you get a little bit of money, the notary gets a little bit of money, Signature Signings gets a little bit of money, and everybody's happy. And that's ultimately what the goal is with us. So anybody have any experience of direct marketing and they have come across a wall where they can't get past a certain objection or something like that? I want to hear what your experiences are with that, so maybe I can try and help you overcome what you're dealing with or how to get past that. Don't be shy. No, I can tell you, I've had several objections back in the day, just walking in the title companies. For those of you that are regulars here, if you come every week, you've heard me talk about the first day I decided to become a signing agent. And I just asked Siri, I said, hey Siri, show me a list of all title companies in the area. And I got Stewart Title, Alliance Title, Placer Title Company, Financial Title Company, and there's a whole bunch more. If I click on the map, do that, and then go up to one of them and open the door and ask to speak with the manager. And first off, before I get into that, just remember, guys, closed mouths don't get fed. If you're not letting people know who you are and what you do, nobody's going to call you just because you're on the National Notary Association database or signingagent.com. You're not going to get a ton of business from that. I mean, you may get one or two here and there on occasion, but if you're not actively pursuing opportunities by letting people know who you are and what you do, you are not going to get the opportunities. So start walking in the title companies and don't think of it as you're marketing to them. Think of it as you are giving them an additional resource in addition to the other resources they currently have, because you never know when somebody's going to get sick or unavailable, or they're just so inundated one day, especially when the refinance boom hit and it was the end of the month and everybody was pushing to get their deals closed so that it would show up on their commission checks at the end of the month. They're putting a lot of pressure on these title and escrow officers to get these deals done towards the end of the month. So You just want to go on there with some business cards and maybe some goodies just to smooth things over and let them know that you mean nothing but no harm. You know, you're there to just add another opportunity to be a resource to them. And if you look at it that way, instead of just, trying to sell them on yourself, I would just walk in and say, hi, I just want to come and introduce myself. I'm a notary public in the area. My name is Mike Rudkowski. I'm the owner of Signature Signings Nationwide Mobile Notary Loan Signing Service. I just want to drop off a little goodie and then introduce myself to all of you and give you some of my business cards. What is intimidating about that? I mean, it's no different than walking up to a perfect stranger and just saying, hi, my name is Mike. How are you? Right?
Right. I've done that a few times.
Yeah, I mean,
Some I don't hear back
anybody can
from.
do it. And honestly, if you don't have that type of personality and you just want to sit behind the sidelines behind your computer screen and your phone and wait for signings to come to you through the signing services, that's the amount of work you're going to get, because you only get what you put into this business. Okay. So some of you may be like, well, darn, I was hoping to get rich overnight by becoming a notary public because I hear everybody else is doing so great in the business. But you know what? Most overnight successes take about 15 years before they become an overnight success. And so I really just want to encourage you guys to get out of your comfort zone and start doing the things that you need to do to take care of yourself. Because if you continue to rely on signing services and your employers to pay your bills and send you work and do things to help you get better, you're only going to get as far as they allow you to. Okay. I got to a point in my career working as a bartender where I realized that I'm tired of working my ass off every day for 8 hours a day, building somebody else's dreams. Because I know I was a bartender, I was pulling in $5,000 a night in cash just through my own sales, knowing that I was getting $14 an hour plus my tips. My tips were nice, but I'd much rather have that $5,000 that I was making in a night for the owner. And so I finally realized, I'm going to stop building somebody else's dreams. I'm going to go out there and start hustling and build my own damn dreams. And because of it, I'm sitting in front of you guys here today because I've created so much opportunity for myself. I can't handle it all. And I want to share that with you guys. But at the same time, I also want to help you get those direct opportunities for yourself. So one of the things I really sell my clients on, and this is more so when I'm trying to build a relationship with real estate agents and lenders, is I'll ask them, who's your preferred signing agent? That's the very first question I'll ask them. Well, after I introduce myself, I'll just ask them, who's your preferred signing agent? Write that down. It's a very simple question. Who is your preferred signing agent? I guarantee you 99% of the people you talk to that are realtors or lenders are going to say, I don't have one. Or, oh, I let title and escrow handle that for me. And if that's the case, so be it. I want to let them know at that point in time that I want to be part of their team. I was like, you know what, Mrs. Smith, real estate agent, if you don't already have a preferred signing agent, why not? As a realtor, you have your team of, you have your plumbers, you have your handymen, you have your pool guys, you've got your electricians, you've got your home stagers, you've got all these people in your arsenal to help make sure that your real estate transaction goes as smoothly as possible and that your buyers or sellers are as happy and as content as possible throughout the whole entire process. But you don't know who's representing you at the final 11th hour of your transaction when everything comes down to the final moment of making sure all the documents are signed and notarized and your clients are fully understanding what everything they're getting themselves into in regards to the signing this contract. Don't you think it would be important to know that your clients are being represented by somebody that's capable and comfortable in explaining these documents? And not only that, but it's willing to communicate with you every step of the way. Hey, Mrs. Smith, Realtor, I just picked up documents from title. I'm on my way to meet your clients right now. Hey, Mrs. Smith, Realtor, I just completed the signing. Your clients had a few questions or concerns that you may want to have a discussion with them about. Um, hey, Mrs. Smith, I just dropped off title documents this morning to the escrow officers and your escrow team. So just know that your transaction is being handled now by them, and they appreciate that stuff because otherwise they're sitting up all night long waiting for confirmation the next morning from title and escrow to let them know that, hey, we've got docs and we're getting everything processed. But how awesome would it be if you were just dropped them a text saying, hey, I've got the documents. Hey, I'm on my way. Hey, I'm in the signing right now and we've got some questions. Or, hey, you know what? I'm so good at what I do. You don't even have to show up or be there because I'm going to make your clients feel as comfortable as possible. And I'm going to explain everything in detail for them. And I'm going to help address every concern that they have so that you don't have to be there if you don't want to be. And you know that your clients are being taken care of in the most professional manner whatsoever. And you know what? Mr. Signer and Mrs. Signer, you guys did a hell of a job of picking an amazing real estate agent to represent you during your transaction. If you can reaffirm their relationship with their clients, how much value is that for you and for the realtor? Why would they not want to work with you if you're reaffirming that relationship? Okay. So those are a lot of things you guys can do to start building direct business for yourselves. Otherwise, they're just going to rely on the title and escrow companies. And if you come to a crossroad where the realtor says, well, I work with Chicago Title Company, and you're not approved with Chicago Title Company, guess what? Signature Signings is. Give me a call. I will get the deal going for you because we can run that transaction through Signature Signings. We charge a $50 fee to run that transaction through us because you're technically working under our insurance and we have to go through our platform and we have to process the check and then get you paid and everything. But I'll tell you what, 50% of something is better than 100% of nothing. And if you have that opportunity to get that up to, if you are able to use us to open that door for yourself until you can get Chicago Title approved or Fidelity approved or Stewart Title approved or Orange Coast approved or whoever else you need to get approved with, use us as a tool because I want to help you guys get that business. Ultimately, my end goal trying to help you guys is to allow you to create so much opportunity for yourselves like I did for myself that you have to start sending all that extra work through us so I can share it with everybody else so we can all start getting paid and start sharing opportunity with each other. And I keep saying that because I really want to burn that into your brains that this is a network. This is about creating and sharing opportunity with each other. I've already got all the tools. I've got all the resources. I want you guys to start considering Signature Signings as your own nationwide signing service. I want you to take ownership of it as if it were your own to your clients locally, because a lot of you may want to build your own signing company within your local area, but you don't want to go nationwide. You don't want to deal with all the transactions across the country and dealing with multiple notaries and all that stuff. I've already built all that for us. And I've got an admin that manages all that stuff for us. And she's amazing. And so if you can start soliciting your clients, once you get in good with them for their out of area opportunities, because that's where all my opportunities come from you guys or my clients that have out of area opportunities. Otherwise, I'm doing it myself if I can. And if I can't, then what I'm not able to do, because I'm only one person that can be in one place at one time, is I'll share those with other notaries within my local area. And, you'd be able to do the same thing. And we compensate you $20 for every purchase, sell, or refinance transaction that comes through us. So, I mean, it's free money for just saying, hey, you should use my signing service. And then everyone's happy. So that's how I market to realtors, and that's how I really overcome objections. I just let people know. who I am, that who can object to that? I just am who I am, and this is what I do. And the hard part about all of this stuff is staying consistent with it, because consistency is key in building relationships. If you meet one person for just one time and you don't continue to follow up on a regular basis, and I see you again for the second time in 6 months, I'm not going to remember meeting you for the first time. And so that's where you guys really need to get on the ball with, if you're going to start doing direct marketing, is showing up at least once every other week, if not once a week. All it takes is probably 3 to 5 solid relationships with escrow officers to make a 6-figure income in this business. Because once you build these relationships and you start going out of your way for them, bending over backwards, doing an 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock signing, or driving 50 miles away, for these direct opportunities, they're going to see that you're investing in them. And in return, they're going to want to invest in you more, because they know that you got their back and they've got yours. And so
Isn't
that's really
showing
what
up
this,
that often kind of pestery though?
what's that?
Isn't showing up like once a week kind of pestery?
Not if you're showing up with a box of donuts, it's not.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you ever get those sales guys knocking at your door and they want to sell you a vacuum cleaner? And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good, man. But I never had a vacuum sales cleaner guy show up at my door with a box of donuts. Because if you did, I'm like, hell yeah, come on in. I got a stain on my rug right there. I'm going to eat my donut, and then you can sweep up all the crumbs off. You know what I mean? It's like,
And then get out of there.
who goes to a party without bringing a little something? It could be a bottle of wine. It could be, it's just social human nature that if you're going to walk into somebody's home, that you bring a little something as a gift. And so that's what I do. If I'm going to walk into a title company, my escrow officer's work home, I'm going to let them know that, listen, I want you to accept me. I want to have the opportunity to come in and meet everybody. And who's going to say no to a box of donuts? And I'm only going to be there for 30 seconds. All it takes is my business card. Eventually, I do that a couple times, and they're going to start to get to know me a little bit. I'll talk to the manager. I'm like, hey, I would love the opportunity to come in next week and buy your office lunch. And in the beginning, I did this all the time. Maybe I didn't have the money to do it every day or every week, but once a month, these offices, most of them only have maybe 5 or 6 people in them. $100 for lunch is more than enough. And it could just be a meat and deli tray with some condiments and some bread from the local deli. It costs you 50, 60 bucks tops, and they get to make their own sandwiches. It doesn't cost you a ton of money, but you'll sit in the kitchen while they all start coming in, and you've got your marketing materials out on the table, and you just say, hi, I'm Mike. I'm one of the new notaries in the area. Or you don't even have to say new. You just say, I'm a notary signing agent in the area, and I just wanted to have the opportunity to come in and treat you guys to lunch and introduce myself. That's all you're really doing, is just making an introduction. And once you've done that, keep going in there once a week just to say hi. Maybe you've got a goodie bag one day where you've got some 5-hour energy drinks and some Snickers bars or something like that, just to help them push through the rest of their day at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, when they're starting to come down from lunch and everything. And, their bellies are nice and full and they're just sleepy, and you give them that little sugar high to help push them through the rest of the day. Things like that. You're just looking for any excuse to say hi, let them know that you're available. Make sure you guys are dressed to impress. Let them know that you are ready to work right now. And I'll tell you what, more times than any, when I walked in there and they saw that I was ready to work, and it was 8:30 in the morning and I had a box of donuts ready to go, they're like, Mike, I just had these documents come to my desk. I need a signing done at 2 o'clock today. Since you're here already, are you able to do it? Well, yeah, heck yeah, I am. Or, once you really start to get comfortable with these people and you have a little bit of rapport, I'll take my laptop and sit in their conference room if I have nothing better to do. And I'll just sit there and do my email marketing or whatever it is I want to do, or maybe I'm just playing solitaire, waiting for them to have something come across their desk and be like, hey, Mike, oh, since you're here, I've got a 5 o'clock wherever it is. Can you do that? Heck yeah, I can. And just being present, and you don't have to be bothering them. Just let them know that you're here. Like, hey guys, here's some donuts. You know, if you don't mind, I'm just gonna sit in your conference room and get some marketing done on my email or my emails, whatever you want to excuse you want to make. And just let them know that you're there for them when they're ready for you. And I'll tell you what, it's much easier for them to get up or shout a crowd across the office and be like, hey, Mike, hey, Nancy, hey, Marcy, can you do this? Than it is to pick up the phone and text them or make a phone call, because they're going to get an instant confirmation instead of them having to wait for a response from an email or a text message or anything else. And I'll tell you what, that's how I built most of my solid relationships. And it's not difficult to make 6 figures in this business anymore at all, because I mean, I'm friends with these people now. I'm going to their kids' weddings and we're barbecuing or hanging out on the weekends on occasion or having drinks after 5 o'clock. And that's how you're really going to truly build these relationships. In the beginning, when you're working on it, you may start working for some people that maybe you're not a big fan of. You know what? Grin and bear it. If you keep doing what you're doing, eventually you're going to find the people that you're going to want to work with, and you can start firing people that you don't want to work with. And that's when I knew I made it. When I stopped relying on signing services to give me work, and when I started telling asshole escrow officers that I don't want to work with them anymore, and I didn't tell them, you know what, I don't want to work with you. I stopped saying yes to their offers, because there's some of them that'll just take advantage of you for their late night far away signings, but they're always going to keep the good ones for their number 1 or number 2 people. There's no escrow officer that only has just one notary signing agent. All right. They all have about at least 3 to 5 options, and there's no reason you shouldn't be in their top 5. And guaranteed, if you do everything I've just told you to do, you're going to be in their top 3 in no time, because their number 4 and their number 5 aren't doing those things. I guarantee you that. And before you know it, you're going to be number 1 in 6 months to a year. And then you don't have to be.
Title companies, and me and my partner, given business cards, and we did create a price sheet. And a couple of them like, yeah, okay, no, we'll call you. And then one of them said, well, we do have an in-house notary who happened to quit the next day. So they called us back, and this is about almost a year ago now. They have access to our Google Calendar.
Yeah.
They book right on our calendars. All right,
Yep.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Yep, that's how I did it too. My clients could see exactly what my schedule was for the day, and they would just start putting spots into my calendar for me. And they love that. And now I've actually gotten my clients to stop doing that and just give me the client's name and information, and I schedule it myself. And that's what I much prefer doing, because if I know I'm going to be in a certain area one day and this other client is going to be there that day, I was like, you know what happens to be, I'm going to be in your area tomorrow around 2 o'clock for another signing opportunity. Would you be available around 1 or 3? And they're like, oh yeah, that's great.
We do them all in office, so we don't have to print. We don't have to do anything but show up and
Amen to that. Amen to that. That's what it's all about. I'll tell you what, guys, paper is expensive. If you're working for the signing services, you're going to be printing not just the first package, but the copy package as well, and the toner. I look at how much paper is right now. It's like $10, $8 a ream for 500 pages. And for a typical buyer package, it's 175, 200 pages. You're using 80% of a ream. That's costing you a lot of money for that paper, plus the toner on top of it. It's probably cost you $10, $8 to $10 per signing, just in paper and toner alone, before you even get paid on anything. And then you got to factor in your time, gas, travel, all that stuff. And if you're lucky, getting paid $100 and then you're only doing 1 or 2 of those a day. It's, if you average it out based off of working for somebody else, per hour, you're not making a whole bunch of money per hour. So your best bet is to start going direct. And so you need to get out of your comfort zone and start doing some direct marketing for yourself if you really want to see some success in this business. And for those of you that work full-time jobs and just use this as a part-time deal, that's quite all right. More power to you. To each their own, however you want to do this business. But I'm here to help you guys build real business for yourselves. I've always told people, if you're only half in, then you're half out. Okay. So that's what you're going to get out of this, is whatever you put into it. And so I hope that kind of helps you guys understand, there really shouldn't be any objections from anybody. The only objection they can give that's a valid objection would be, oh, I already have a preferred signing agent. Okay. Because if they don't, why shouldn't you be their preferred signing agent? If you're going to show them and that you're going to be accountable for them, making sure that everything's T's are crossed, I's are dotted, you're establishing a relationship and you're communicating with them and letting them know that you're doing everything you can to help make their clients feel warm and welcome, and they're understanding that where you're at in the process and they don't have to rely on waiting for the escrow team to call them the next morning. They get to sleep a lot easier knowing that their documents are being handled by a professional and that the signing went smooth that night. And if there was an issue, they can nip it in the bud right at the start, instead of these clients sleeping on it all night and maybe even riling themselves up even more over something that could have been easily remedied had we just had a small conversation right when it arose. Those are things that are going to get you in with realtors and lenders. And they're also going to start, you get in with realtors and lenders, they're going to open doors to new title companies you've never worked with before. And you start working them the way I just explained to you guys, you're going to have a 6-figure business in a year. A lot of my notaries that I worked with locally, I did 2-hour trainings for them twice a week, and they're making 6 figures now. And it's not that hard as long as you're willing to put in the work for it. And like I said, I got tired of working 8 hours every day for somebody else and building their dreams. And I got tired of people telling me when I could go take my lunch break, or how long I was allowed to mourn the death of my father, or I had to wait to see if I was approved for my time off to go on vacation for my honeymoon. You know what? I get to decide what I want to do now. I get to decide when I want to work, how long I want to work, what days I want to work. Maybe, working 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, that's not enough for you. You need more income. But you ask your employer to work more, and they're like, nope, we can't afford to pay you overtime. You know what? I get to work overtime if I want to. If I want to work Monday through Friday and then take a few signings on Saturday and Sunday too, I can do that. It's all up to me. So anybody have anything they'd like to add to any of this?
I have a question. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so my question to you is going into, because here in Bay County, Florida, I'm in Florida, Bay County, we have a paper that we have to file for a peddler's permit.
Okay.
If we're peddling. So my question, and I know you're not an attorney and yada, 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 but question for you. If you're going in and is it considered soliciting yourself to the title company when you're giving them your business card and saying, hey, I'm this person and I do this? Is that considered soliciting? Is that, because the peddler's permit here is $375 just to apply. And you have to do that not only for the county, but within my county, there's several municipalities that also want you to fill out one of these peddler's permits. So I'm just trying to understand that's my biggest holdup, because it's $375 for the county. And then some of our municipalities are $200, $300. It's like, I don't know how to do
that's
this.
Something I've personally never come across. I'm in California and we don't have those types of permits. But are you a member of Signature Signings?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. You would know if you went to signaturesigns.com, you would have taken one of our vetting quizzes. And I'll show you right now really quick. I'm going to share my screen with you guys here. Bear with me for just a second. So if you're a member, you're going to log into this screen here. Hold on a second. I got all kinds of. You're going to log into this screen here. And once you're logged in, you're going to have this little list on the left side. It's called the members area. And in the members area, there's some resources here. And in the resources tab, once it comes up, is I have a state-specific links to Signature Signings Facebook groups. Click on that link and find the Florida group and start having conversation with other Floridian notaries that may be in your area and ask them how they have overcome what you're asking about. Because I'm not in Florida and I don't know the laws and the rules of all that stuff, I would talk to other people within the network that have experienced that, and I'm sure they could coach you a lot better than I could about that. Listen, I know a lot about loan signings, but because of every state is different, I can't tell you everything because not everything's the same across the country. But I've given you guys resources to where if I can't give you the answer, you can go find the answer somewhere. So I think that might be able to help you out by talking to other Florida notaries and see how they overcame that. So I wish I could give you more insight on that, but that's the best I can offer you for that right now. I hope that helps some though.
Yeah, thank you. I'll have to go and check because I'm looking through. I have like 10 pages worth of passwords because nothing's the same.
I get it. It's easy to reset your password if you don't already have an account there. I want to, if any of you are new and have never been to signaturesigns.com before, and this is all free right here. All these resources that I've got right here for you guys, I put those there for you for free. It's free to be a member of signaturesigns.com. Once you create your own accounts, I ask you to go to option number 5 on our home screen, and it's going to lead you to a vetting quiz. I'd like to know your competency in doing loan signings and to find out if you are a candidate to represent not just my clients, but all of our other notaries clients that are working through our network. And so come here, take our vetting quiz. You've got 15 minutes to answer 27 questions, I believe it is. Make sure you've got plenty of quiet and no distractions. I'm only going to give you one chance to take it right now. And if you fail it, doesn't mean that I don't want you to be a signature signer. It just means I want you to get some more experience before you start representing my clients and our other notaries clients in the network. And in the near future, I'll be resetting everybody's test scores and allowing you another opportunity to take the quiz one more time. And if you pass it, then great. We're going to get you Fidelity approved under Signature Signings, and you'll start being able to use all the resources that we have available. And if you fail it, you're going to have an opportunity to buy my training course. And with my training course, it's going to be jam-packed with probably 12 hours of content on stuff we're talking about today, marketing, but it's also about mindsets, the mindset you need to have to be an entrepreneur, to go out there and find that drive that you need to be a hustler, to build business for yourself in this industry, as well as understanding how to explain a note, a deed of trust, notice of right to cancel, a P-Core, a 1031, and a T4506, and a W9, and et cetera, et cetera. So look for that in the near future. I'm working with my marketing partners right now on creating that. So I'm excited for that in the future for us all. And that way we all know that if you are a signature signer, you've been vetted and approved, our clients are being represented by some of the best in the industry. And that's ultimately what we all want, right? We want to be the best, and we want to know that our clients are being represented by the best. And So that's why Signature Signing is excited to pay more money. You know, you see those companies out there like Coast to Coast. I remember working as a signing for signing services, and Coast to Coast would always be lowballing us, you know, $60 for a buyer package or with mortgage stuff like that. And you know, it's ridiculous, but you know what? Beggars can't be choosers. And if you want to get in this business, you got to pay your dues. And I'll tell you what, the difference between what you're getting for that signing and what the signing service is getting for that signing, that's the cost of your education. And eventually you'll stop paying for education because you'll become so educated that you'll be making $175 and $200 per signing, and you won't be working for those companies anymore. But you got to get your feet in there somewhere, and you got to get educated some way, somehow. And that's by paying your dues and taking the lowball signings in the beginning and just doing everything you can to get experience. And so in the very beginning, if you're a brand new signing agent, don't look at the numbers, look at the opportunities. The opportunities are going to allow you to become better and better and better. So in the beginning, I didn't care how much it was paying. I didn't care how far I had to drive. All I cared about was getting the experience and the opportunity, the knowledge, the know-how, making mistakes. You know, anybody that says they've never made a mistake before has never tried anything new. So if this is new to you, you're going to make mistakes. Live and learn, become the best you can, accept your faults, and don't put that blame on somebody else. Accept it, fix it, and move on, and don't dwell on it, because we're all going to make mistakes. And I know I hated making mistakes because I would dwell on it, but I come to realize as long as I just talk to my clients and let them know that I was sincerely apologetic and that I will do whatever it takes to make this right, and they realize that, you know, I'm not a robot and I'm human, and that's what people do. We make mistakes on occasion, and you're willing to fix it, they're going to call you back. They're going to call you back. So, all right. Anybody else? Let's see. We got a little bit in the chat here. Let me take a look at what we got here. In my opinion, Nancy, in regards to email marketing, you missed last week. Last week, I talked a little bit about this. You know, we talked about social media marketing and DMs, direct messaging. In my experience, email marketing does not work. And here's why, especially with title and escrow companies and mortgage companies. The privacy policies that these companies have, because they're working with so many people's private information, anything that I send to them, if I'm not already on their approved email list, is not going to ever get to them. It's going to be sent to their spam folder. They're never going to see it. In my opinion, the best way to market, if you're going to try and do it digitally, is either through SMS, direct text messaging, or through direct messaging via social media platforms like LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram. Okay. I wouldn't waste your time too much on the email marketing campaigns, just unless you're already on their approved list. I remember, you know, first starting to work with title and escrow companies, and I'd be like, "Hey, Mike, can you do the signing?" I'd be like, "Yeah, great." And then they call me up the next day or text me, they're like, "Hey, I need your invoice." I'm like, "Well, I emailed it to you already." And they're like, "Oh, we don't have your email approved on our database yet." So they would have to go to their IT department and have them give me permission to email them. And otherwise it would just go to a spam folder or it would get rejected altogether. So that's my take on email marketing. I hope that helps.
Yes, and actually I was answering it when I put that on there. I was answering, was it Lena that said something about email marketing? I'm like, oh, I have no idea. But now we know.
There you go. Yeah, and that's my own personal experience. Now, it doesn't mean you shouldn't try it. Maybe it does work for some people in other places. You know, every situation is different. From my own personal experience, face-to-face and social media have been my biggest contributors towards building direct business with title and escrow companies. You know, it might work with some of the signing services. Honestly, I get a bunch of emails from random notaries saying where they're located and they're interested in doing work for Signature Signs, and I just revert them to our vetting quiz. Your competency in the industry is going to speak for itself more than your willingness to want to work with our network. Unfortunately, we want people that know what they're doing, and if you don't quite know what you're doing, that's why you get to come here at 9 a.m. every Tuesday and get some free training from me. And again, I'm working on right now creating a training course. There's other training courses out there. If you're not willing to wait for mine, more power to you. I'm not, education is huge in this business, and I consistently go to my competitors' conferences and such to learn how they're doing things, because I guarantee you, I don't know everything there is about anything, even this business. I feel like I'm pretty competent. I used to think I knew everything until I went to one conference, and I was blown away about how much stuff I did not know. And it was because of those experiences that have led me to become better and better. And so confident about what I know that I'm here sharing it with you guys. Because if I didn't feel like I didn't know what I was talking about, I wouldn't be here. So,
Right. Well, as you can see, I take all the training I possibly can.
amen to that. I appreciate that, Nancy, and I'm thank you for sharing that tidbit about the 55 and older community. If you guys got 55 and older communities laying around you like I do, I mean, heck, that's a huge opportunity. And $150 for 6 months of advertising, why wouldn't you? Like, you're going to easily make more than that in probably one signing if you get with a couple that has a living trust. And, I guarantee you there's probably attorneys that are doing that same type of marketing in that same area. You need to start looking at those classifieds for the attorneys and start networking with them as well. Like, hey, we're both advertising on in the same area. I'd love to team up with you where I can, we can both do the mobile signing together at your client's home, and start doing those living trust things and the power of attorneys and all that stuff. So anybody have any topics that they think they would like me to touch on for next week or in future upcoming weeks that you could think of that maybe you need work on or need some more understanding on?
Do you ever talk about Ron?
Ron, I have not, only because in California we are not able to do Ron yet.
Right.
So
Okay. I
would love to actually have a guest that does know a lot about Ron, because I think California's only one of 4 states that's not doing Ron. Now,
it's coming though. It's been passed for you.
What's that?
It's been passed. You guys are gonna get it, I think, beginning of next year or something like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting. I still do Ron through my signing service, but I don't perform the actual notarization. So when my clients come to me and say, hey, we need a notary done in India or wherever, I can find a notary that does Ron. But as far as how that stuff works, because I haven't had the opportunity to do it hands-on yet, I'm still a little unsure about it. I know there's a lot of different states have different capabilities as far as like biometrics and stuff like that go, and I don't know, I don't understand all of that yet, but it's something I'm definitely excited to learn about in the future, because if we could start just doing everything from our computer and not have to drive around all the time and knock out 10 loan signings in a single day and not drive a single mile or print any paper or toner or anything, how freaking awesome would that be? And you know what? We're going to get paid the same. We're still going to, here in California, I'm charging $175, $200 a signing. And that's for the Sacramento area. If it's in the Bay Area, like San Francisco, or down south, like LA, San Diego, they're getting $250 a signing. Now, that's because of cost of living. So don't think that's, if your community or your locale isn't paying that much, it's probably because, my ex-wife, she lives in Michigan. You can buy a mansion out there for $300,000. Here, you're looking at $1 million for a 4,000 square foot home. It's all relative. Let's see, we got some more messages coming in now. Let me see if I can scroll to see that. Well, that's just not even all right. So I think that'll do us for today, guys. I hope you got some great information out of it. Go take our vetting quiz if you haven't. You know, if you're getting some great information out that you appreciate this, I ask you if you could maybe just go to Signature Signs Google, go to our Google page, look us up on Google Signature Signs, leave a positive review for me. I'd love to see that. You know, I want to attract not just potential new clients to notarize, but I want to attract other notary signing agents that are wanting to network and create opportunity for all of us. So I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll look forward to seeing you next week. Go out there and
Thank
get it. Go out, take the opportunity this week. Just go walk in the one title company. I'm going to post this link again back in the group page of this video. Fast forward to the part where I was talking about you know, introducing yourself to the title company, and also to about talking to realtors. And take some notes if you haven't already. Make it your own. It should come off your lips just as smoothly as it came off of mine, but make it your own about wanting to create a relationship, just like you have plumbers and realtors and pool guys and all that stuff. You know, let them know that it's important that you have somebody that can be accountable and communicate with you along the way. Why would you not want to have me on your team? I guarantee you build some relationship with realtors like that, they're going to open some doors for you, because realtors ultimately are the ones that have the say in who establishes title and escrow and who they're going to be working with. And they're going to open some doors to you with escrow officers. And once you get in with that escrow officer, you start marketing to them the way we talked about. And before you know it, you're BFFs, and you guys are drinking on Friday afternoon and hanging out on the weekends and making lots of money together during the weekdays. And there's plenty of friends out there that you don't know you have yet. And I hope that eventually I can be one of them, and you can be one of them to me too. So, all right, guys, have a great week. I'm looking forward to some of those stories next week for sure. So if you're here today and you're here next week, I want to hear about some successes and some failures too. Let me hear about how you failed so we can work on counteracting that. All right. Take care.
Take care.
Bye.
Thank you.
You're
Bye.
welcome. My pleasure.